What's up, guys? And ladies. And welcome back to another episode of Punker Mike's Custom Action Figure Showcase. In this episode, I'm going to be showcasing my custom Fugitoid action figure. Kick it! Alright, so kicking it off, if you guys aren't familiar with Fugitoid, he is an ally to the Turtles in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe, first appearing in the Mirage comics run, then the toy line, and then eventually in the cartoon. So he had his own one-shot, self-titled Fugitoid that actually tied into a couple issues of the early Mirage comics runs. So this look for Fugitoid, he never appeared in the comics like this or anything. It was just a pinup that Kevin Eastman penciled and Peter Laird inked. And it's just Fugitoid dressed up in ninja gear. So the origins behind Fugitoid is that Dr. Honeycutt is a scientist and he was creating this device called the Metawave, which gave him telekinetic type powers. At the same time, his worker robot Sal is outside. He got tangled up in some wires. So Dr. Honeycutt goes out to save him, breaks him free. They're walking back inside of the lab. Electrical storm comes out of nowhere. Boom, they get zapped by lightning. Dr. Honeycutt gets burnt to a crisp. But since he was wearing that Metawave device, mixed with the lightning and the frequency with the worker robot Sal, his mind got transferred into the robot. So now Dr. Honeycutt is trapped inside the Sal robot. And then the military dudes come, see Dr. Honeycutt all zapped to a crisp. They think the robot did it. Some other stuff goes on too. But basically, they want to capture the robot. And now, since he's wanted, possibly for murder too, he's labeled as a Fugitoid. So the base of this figure is from Playmates Nickelodeon Turtles line. This was from the Dimension X ones. So their arms, they're solid plastic. They're stuck at that bend. So I was thinking Machine Man. The Machine Man ones aren't as bendy as, say, the tentacles from the Toy Biz Sentinel. Like, I have some extra ones of those. So I was planning on switching those out with bendy wire or using like the Figma import joints. So I got a bunch of these. You can get like a big lot of them on eBay for pretty cheap. So what I did, I heated up the arms and the legs. And with the blade, I just cut out a little piece, dremelled a hole, and I was able to fit that import joint in there. So that way he's got articulated arms, some bicep swivel. And then I just had to prep them, so I had to sand them really good so I could paint them. And then basically that's it. I mean, everything else is just like little knick-knack stuff. So the mask is just made out of Procreate Sculpt, the mask, and then the tie in the back. And it is a little flexy. So what I had to do is Dremel off the eyes and then fill that in with Sculpt. So here is an early one I messed with that I put the Figma joints on. So I see how the eyes bulge out. I had to just Dremel those down, and then in the gap I filled that with Sculpt. I used Milliput Sculpt for that. Let that dry. Once that dry, I sanded it down so it was completely smooth. And then I just sculpted with Procreate sculpting putty. Just the mask. And then the little bandana tie in the back. And then painted that up. And then I primed the whole figure prior to painting. Well, I sanded it, cleaned it with hot water, soap, and rubbing alcohol. And then I primed it with Chaos Black by Citadel. And then I painted the whole figure with Citadel Iron Breaker. So this is like a metallic-y type paint that I usually use for any type of metal or weapons or anything like that. I dry brushed on light layers, multiple light layers, to give it a kind of like a metal-y, robotic look. The strap across his chest is from a 3A Sam Slade figure. The elbow pads, knee pads are sculpted the Procreate Sculpt. And then the little ties right here, so the strap on his elbow pad, the wrist ties right here, the ties on his ankle, that's an articulated icons kunai. Some ninja stars, these aren't articulated icons. These might be from McFarlane Onimusha figures, or they might be articulated icons. I think they're from Onimusha. But anyway, these straps are from like the medical tape. So like the tape like Macho Man and like wrestlers like tape their fingers with. I cut small strips of that. I painted it, and once the paint dried, I put the little strips on there. I put a little layer of super glue, and then once it dried completely, I painted it another layer of brown, and then a little bit of a wash on there. And so like I said, that's for the wrist tape, the straps on the pads, and that's just glued on there. It's not going to move. And so the swords and scabbards, these are from the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles Playmates figures. This came from Leonardo. Put a little peg. I just had an extra little piece of plastic. I put a peg in there, drilled a hole in his back. And then I had to shave the swords down because if you have this figure, you know that the sword's kind of like a big edge right here on the blade. So I had to Dremel that down so that way they come out of the scabbards like nice and smooth before they like get stuck. And if anything gets stuck, it's going to have paint rub. And so I matched the paint with how the NECA ones look. So the NECA Leonardo, I tried to do the same color scheme with the red handle, with the gold accents. And then I made him a weapon too, because in the Eastman and Laird pinup, he had a similar weapon. So this is from, I think, the Ninja Turtle, the Playmates Nickelodeon line, I think. And then I just got a chain from Michaels. Same thing, tried to keep it that gold and red scheme. So you see the NECA Mirage Leonardo, kind of got that same gold scheme, gold and red scheme. So I tried to keep it with that since this Fugitoid based off of like an old Mirage kind of pinup anyway. So I tried to keep that aesthetic. And this was a quick little custom I did. I was making him on the side while I was doing Pizza Face. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So although I do like the articulation you get with the import joints, I think I want to try the next one because I have a couple of these Fugitoids left. I think I want to do the next one with the bendy wire from, let me see if I have it. With the bendy wire from the Toy Biz Sentinel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it inspired you. Check out some of my other videos. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can check me out on Instagram. My handle is punker_Mike, and we'll see you next time. I always liked the Playmates figure too. Thought he had a pretty cool design. Gimmick was a little weird how his chest popped open, but pretty cool figure. So hope you guys liked the video. Hope it inspired you. If you have any questions for what the fuck? If you have any questions, I was about to give out my phone number. What the fuck? Not today, boy.